good afternoon. My name is Melody Davis. I've been a resident of East, West, and North Oakland. I have nothing against the A's. I worked 15 years for the A's as a concession worker. And then plus, I buried my grandfather who used to take all the children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to all the games. He had on the hat, he had on the shirt, he had on the socks, and he had on the pants. He was buried in that. So I have nothing against the A's. I have something against them where they're going to be at. Like she said, and like the people ahead of us, the stats are crazy. They are not real. It's a big lie. It's a big lie. We've been through that already, one big lie. Why do we have to go through another one? We should have learned our lessons. We should have learned our lessons with the Raiders. Every day is something new. Dave Cavell and Mr. Fisher finally coming up for air and starting to say something. They've been wondering where he's been. Okay, come on now. They need to stay. The infrastructure is already at the Coliseum. My God. They can build tomorrow if they wanted to. They can put those shovels. The baseball players said when they came in April, they wanted to hear the sledgehammers. They wanted to hear that while they were playing ball. Seattle did it. Seattle Seahawks. Where is they stadium at? It's on the same ground. They moved one and put another one there. Come on now, we got to come together on something. Like the sign says, read it. Thank you. And that's what we need to do, you guys. And also, please go to the website, East Oakland Stadium Alliance, and get all the notes. Everything you want is right there. Thank you very much.
I'm Aaron Wright with ILWU Local 10, representing 1,500 workers in the port here in the Bay. We just hired 500 new part-time workers and promoted 300 members this last month. This port is busier than ever. I don't know if you've noticed, but we got ships parked in the bay. We got ships circling in the ocean. We need this facility. We need these train tracks to be free. We cannot put thousands of cars in this area. It will impede the economic activity of this entire region if we do. If it's retail, agriculture, or manufacturing, this port does it. This port in one day has more economic activity than any 44-game home game in a year. This port is the heartbeat of our economy. Keep it alive.
Will be directly impacted by this project should it come to fruition here at Howard Terminal. So the first person we're going to have come and speak will be Mr. Will
Talk about what's happening here today.
Insanity. The A's have basically thrown out all their promises, as we knew in the beginning. They have not, in their EIR, taken into account truck traffic, have not planned for overpasses for the trains, have not secured the turning basin, and have not come up with a plan for the 300,000 truck moves that come in and out of Howard Terminal every year. That's just on the port side. They want $1 billion from Oakland, and they say we have to have it or we're going to leave. We must have it, and I don't know if you've been watching the news lately. They got a bunch of slick ads out about save our jobs, these workers.
This is the AFL-CIO Labor Council, and building trades are supporting this. I think there are going to be jobs.
Well, I've heard now that the Labor Council is split. Well, you have the building trades, yeah, because they want any project that's going to give them jobs to build.
They might build concentration camps for their own members if they made money.
I've heard they would have to think about it if it was going to be something like that, yeah.
I mean, it would destroy the port. That's what you're saying. If they built
it would severely hinder the port if you put thousands of cars and pedestrians just over these train tracks right here. It just doesn't make sense. Bike lanes where semi trucks are going. Just standing here for that last 20 minutes. I mean, dozens and dozens of trucks have come in and out. You can't put bike lanes and pedestrians with these. This is a dangerous situation as it is right now.
Why is Mayor Schaaf supporting this? It seems like it's a working port. It's crazy right now with all the traffic.
Mayor Schaaf has been to the hilt with this from the very beginning. She has said there's no option other than Howard Terminal. She said that publicly. So she's obviously in the camp of John Fisher, the owner of the A's. She's obviously the only people that support this in the industry are the people that she's appointed. So the Port Commission, which she appoints.
The executive director of the building trades is on.
Yes, he's on it.
Wait, why? What's he saying?
He's obviously for it. So he's been pushing for it from the beginning. But also the city managers are under her employ. She appoints them. Therefore, but BART has come out against this. AC Transit, I've heard. All of the maritime industries. I mean, if you let them come in here, they're going to reshape the area. No one that has any stake in this area will be able to stay here. They will reshape this area to their liking.
Why is Rob Bonta, who was the legislator here and now he's Attorney General, and Nancy Skinner, why did they pass legislation to have tax dollars for this project?
Okay, so we're ready.
I guess it's the same reason that Libby Schaaf. I mean, they're in a billionaire's pocket. You know, it's hard to get elected without money and a backing from a rich person. I just imagine that their whole careers are staked on this.
But I mean, if this went through, you're saying it would destroy the port, a working port?
Yes, it would severely cripple the working port if you put thousands of fans right here at the point of our port where everything comes out. It would severely hit. It's not even an imagination. I mean, Dave Cavall has already sued Schnitzer Steel. They said they were going to work with the port, but he's suing Schnitzer Steel in the same breath.
It's for environmental reasons. Isn't that the reason he's suing them?
Yeah, he's claiming environmental reasons, but I think that's a duplicitous,
He wants them out for his stadium?
He wants them out. He wants them to pay for the toxic cleanup next door. You know, Howard Terminal is a Superfund site. I believe it's got a cap on it, and there's probably hundreds of millions of dollars of cleanup that has to happen.
My name is Mercedes Rodriguez, and I'm a longtime West Oakland resident. I've been here since the 70s. I'm also on the steering committee for the Community Benefits Agreement for Howard Terminal. I've been doing that for the past, 2 years now, and we came up with about 144 recommendations, and this is what we want to have as benefits for this community if the A's do get a ballpark at Howard Terminal. However, they're not putting any money into the community benefits, and that's what it's all about. So why have we spent 2 years working with the A's, the City of Oakland, and the community and other organizations to get benefits, and the A's come out in April and say, oh, we have our own term sheet, and it really doesn't include them paying for community benefits for us, and that's not fair.
Maybe John Fisher can't afford it.
Maybe, but it shouldn't be on the homeowners. It shouldn't be on the property owners, and they shouldn't have to use an IFD for taxes that the taxes that they're going to generate from their property are going to be used for community benefits. That's not right. They're supposed to be paying out of their pocket for community benefits, and then they want to have another district for taxes for Jack London Square. And they want those people to be taxed because of a ballpark? That's not right.
Why would Rob Bonta and Nancy Skinner pass state legislation for a tax for a stadium?
You know, that's a good question. I'm not for it. I'm not for it at all. And I think a whole lot of people that actually live in West Oakland are not for it as well.
And there's a lot of homeless in Oakland. I mean, thousands and thousands of homeless people.
Definitely.
I mean, why aren't they building homes for the homeless?
That would be a good question. And you know what? The affordable housing that they're building, it's not going to be enough affordable housing for the people that live here. And the income level for affordable housing for this particular event, you have to make over $100,000. That's not affordable for people here. If people made $100,000, $100 or more, they wouldn't be on the street. And there's so many homeless people here in West Oakland. It's terrible. And I'm one of the ones that go out and feed the homeless a few times a week. I was doing it 5 days a week. But I even cook and take food to the homeless.
Do you think this is part of like gentrification to kick people out and basically?
You know what? It's actually doing that. Because you know what? Our property values are going to go up. My homeowners, I live about 7 minutes away from the Howard Terminal. They're saying my property values are going to go up. So I'm selling my property and I'm getting out of here. That's what they're thinking. I'm leaving because this is not going to be good for us. You know.
But you're not going to leave.
I'm not going to leave, and I hope that they don't get the ballpark here. I'm praying every day that they don't get the ballpark here. Now, I don't have anything against the A's themselves. I know Dave Cavall, I know Taj, Warren, Colette. I know a lot of them. They're good people. They come to my events because I do a lot of community events. But the ballpark here is not a good option for the people that live here.
It looks with all the trucks going by and the traffic that this would be total chaos, total gridlock.
And
who would think of having a ballpark in?
I'm on the transportation steering committee for the community benefits, and the trucks are one of my big issues as well. In fact, we have truck parking all up and down Market Street right now, and the city doesn't do any enforcement. So what happens when we have the ballpark here? And where are those trucks going to go? They're going to come right out into the community. And they're already in the community, but there's going to be more. And the traffic, 7,000 to 10,000 cars are going to be in this community. Where are they going to park at?
Is there trouble parking now?
There's trouble parking now. There's trouble parking now. In front of our homes before the pandemic, people that worked in downtown Oakland were parking in front of our houses from in the morning until sometimes 9 or 10 at night.
Well, why would they come up with this scheme, and why would Mayor Schaaf support this?
That's a good question. She's thinking about the money that it'll generate for Oakland. She's not thinking about the residents. She's thinking about the money.
But she's been down here. She knows that one of the things that the longshore and maritime workers are saying, they would destroy the port if they put a ballpark. Do you believe that?
But she has her, yeah, I do, because I've been working with the longshoremen as well. And I don't think it's a good idea for them. And I'm also in the West Oakland Job Resource Center. I'm on the board. And I am for jobs at the port. I am for jobs at the ballpark if they do have it. But I don't think a ballpark at Howard Terminal is a good option. So that's my opinion.
How much money has been spent on developing this? It seems like there have been a lot of meetings. The city has put a lot of resources in.
I have been going to meetings personally for over 2 years. So I don't know what percentage or dollar amount the city is putting into this, but I know that I've been invested. I don't get paid to do this. I'm doing this out of my own heart because of my people here.
Charlotte Franklin. It's not renewal, it's removal.
You believe that that's what's behind it?
So that's all it is. That's all it is. I am an adopted West Oaklander. I'm not from California, but I've seen changes ever since I've been here since 1968. So this is ridiculous.
What's your name?
Melvin McKay, ILWU Vice President and Business Agent for Oakland. The reason I have opposition, for the Oakland is that train.
Sample the
okay? This is what will happen if there is a baseball game and a train is sitting idle. The people that's going to watch that game, one of them will get hurt trying to cross the train tracks or cross that train. They're not going to wait for the train tracks or the trains to leave. Number two, as you see behind you, this yard is full of containers. 8 years ago, clean Oakland up. Get the trucks off the streets from idling. We did that collaboratively together to get these trucks off the street. There was a mayor named Gene Kwan who assisted in that. Today, the Oakland A's, the mayor of Oakland, and the City Council and the Port of Oakland, the mayor wants this to go through for a legacy of hers. It's not about the Oakland A's. In 2017, the Oakland A's had an EIR to build at the Coliseum site. 2018, they go over to Laney College. They want to build Laney. They were told no. Then they decided, well, let's go to the waterfront, knowing that it will be disruptive to the economy. They don't care. One of the things that the president of the Oakland A's stipulated at the BCDC was, if you guys automate, you don't have to worry about this. So then what happens to the longshore jobs? We're without a job. We just hired 1,000 people off of the streets as temporary workers. We just promoted 350 temporary people to Class B. The next step is Class A. Those temporary people, as I was in 1991, I was a casual. I am no longer a casual. I am now the vice president and business agent, past president 3 times of ILWU Local 10. If the Oakland A's was to come here to Howard Terminal, the commerce would break down between the mom and pop stores and the economy that goes out to the city and county of Alameda. Number 2, where would these people get their goods? From Seattle, Portland, or Los Angeles? Because they won't get it from Oakland. Because once we have allowed them to build condominiums and or a coliseum, there's a noise ordinance in every city. Look what happened to Santa Clara County. 10 o'clock curfew. What would happen here? We work 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. The people that buy these affordable condominiums of upwards of $1 million would go back to the same city council and tell them that we're making too much noise.
How many longshoremen can afford a $1 million condo?
Maybe one, not many, and I'll tell you why. The majority of us have children. We have a home, we have an automobile. There's insurance that's associated with all. Without it, you go nowhere. Number 2, why would I spend $1.5 million on a condominium with no backyard other than a creek? Well, the estuary. But more importantly is, I would not invest my money into that condominium knowing that I'm going to be next to a noise maker. People that moved next to the airport was there when they moved there. People that moved to a train depot, the depot was there before they moved there. But they went back to the city council and asked for a noise reduction law, and they gave it to them. It's no different from here. The people that have these trucks on this terminal right now are off the streets, but they have a catch and pitch yard here. They get a container from the terminal, bring it here for Jimmy. Jimmy gets it and goes about his business. The freeway's around the corner. They don't have to sit idle on our city streets any longer. And then you talk about Oakland being the highest asthma rate in the nation. We've reduced that. Not by much, but by a lot. But people don't understand that coliseum and condominiums do not belong on tied land trust property. Rob Bonta and Nancy Skinner, after we started this crusade, went to Sacramento and drafted legislation. And it was passed for them to relax the tied land trust here. Okay? This is no longer an industrial jock, as so California thinks. But if they knock us out of a job, all hell will break loose.
Why should people be paying taxes for a stadium, a billionaire, John Fisher? I mean, it seems crazy to have taxes so he can make more money on building condos?
I don't believe anybody should be paying taxes for somebody else's gain. You pay taxes for your own, for your family, not for another person with money. This is not Robin Hood, okay? He's not taking from the poor, giving to the rich, or taking from the rich, giving to the poor. It's all about him. Like I said, in 2017, they already had an EIR, Environmental Impact Report study done at the Coliseum site where they're located today. Okay, as Aaron said, 44 games a year does not knock me out of a job. There's no way. We move 300,000 gate moves a year right here at Howard Terminal. That's to get the congestion off the street.
You live around here, right?
Yes, sir. Right down here, right across the street from the post office on 7th Street.
So why don't you want the new ballpark to come here? You used to work for the team.
That's what I'm talking about. It's, for one thing, it's a horrible deal. Okay, we'll start at 1. Infrastructure. We're going to have to pay that. When he was talking about this thing, think about it. When he was talking about this thing, it's supposed to be privately funded. So we all thought it was everything, and everybody was on board. Oakland A's were going to keep it, they're going to take everything. But guess what happened? He made a mistake by adding all that other stuff. 400...
But in a nutshell, why don't you like it?
It's not a good deal. It's a horrible deal because we got to pay taxes on it. And anybody who lives from Oak Street to Mandela got to pay an extra tax. So that's 2 taxes right there. They got to pay one, they got to pay another one. They got all these acronyms, IFPD and APD, all that kind of stuff. Who understands that? Economic is not good. The engine economic Vietnam Indians should be in East Oakland, where we already have infrastructure.
And you used to work. So
I worked there for 15 years. As a concession, worked all the way to be a manager. You know, and then that was a part-time job. Then I worked for the sheriff department, so I had a good time there.
But they've said the Coliseum's a non-starter. That they're gonna go somewhere else. What do you?
Well, you know what?
I mean,
I understand. Well, you know what? Like the man said, Bromstein, the newspaper guy, he said because of the greed. If they leave, it's because of it's on Mr. Fisher. It's on Mr. Fisher.
Wait,
you know what I'm saying?
Say greed. So what if
greed?
So say it again. I'm sorry. So
Mr. Fisher, if it doesn't happen, and the city and the county don't go for it, because they still got to go through the county. So even if it happens tomorrow, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be somewhat there, but not all the way there. I don't think they're going to accept it, the term paper. So they're going to have to wait till the county comes in and see what the county said. But the county was pissed.
But if they go?
If they go by Felicia. That's an African-American term. Okay.
Well, for
for you, Rob? Okay, bye. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what?
This is a soundbite though. So
okay.
If they decide what?
Okay, you know what? They're going to have a women's Ray Bobbitt, African-American Sports and Entertainment. He's going to put a women's basketball team in the arena. All the young black girls and brown girls, just think about it, just like the Serena and Venus Williams, they can be a basketball player and make plenty of money.
Go, then what?
They go. The Raiders went. I don't see nobody crying. The Warriors left, and the way Steph Curry come over here, you think he ain't leave nowhere. And then just to think about what happened with Candlestick Park. When they built over there, those sailboats had to come over here. You remember those big boats?
So you don't care if they go?
No, it doesn't matter, man. I mean, I would hate for them, like I told you, I buried my grandfather in a baseball outfit. That wasn't no story, that was the truth. But they had everything, because he took 3 generations of people to the A's game. But my thing is that it's a bad deal. It's not for us. You just heard Mercedes say, I was in that, let me tell you, I was in that CBA, Community Benefit Agreement. My cousin, who's a land developer in Fresno, we can't have a 2-minute conversation. He said if it's an agreement, it don't mean nothing. It has to be a contract. See, the real estate developers, they're real smart. They're real smart. If it's privately funded, and that's what he's going to do with that stadium, he don't have to hire union people. And that's per Mayor Schaff. She said that. What if private, you hire who you want to hire? What if public, you know what I'm saying? He's going to do that by himself. That's the only thing he's going to build a stadium. Why he didn't do all that with Laney? All that about Laney? Why he didn't do all that in Fremont? Why he didn't have the 400-room hotel over there? You see what I'm saying? So no. He died with this because you know why? Because we West Oakland and we African Americans. And I'm gonna tell you something else. That's good? Okay.
You think he's a racist?
Okay, yeah. I was just gonna say that because you know why? The 95, 97% African Americans working there, male and female. My son works over there. He's African American. Took him off the streets. And now with them boats that's sitting out there in that water, they taking everybody who's 18, pass a drug test. Come on now, pass a drug test for our boys and women, and they gotta have a driving license, L. You know what I'm saying? And starting off with $25 an hour, and they got 2 shifts.
That's not a peanut salad.
Oh my God! And the benefit. I tell you, my son takes care of his mama now. And I don't want to get emotional, because I know where he was and where he's at now. I'm so proud of him. I tell him that all the time. I'm so proud of you. He showed me a check stub. Whoa! I worked at the sheriff department. I made $100,000, but I had to work my ass off. And then it was a sad job because I was a high price babysitter for the deputies, so nobody hurt them. But anyway, going back to this thing, you've been here. You see how many trucks coming through here? That's not even the one on Market Street. This is not the only.
So why is he doing this?
It's for money, for him only. I tell you, I have a nephew in Fresno who's a real estate developer. We can't talk for 2 minutes before I hang up on him. He told me the game. Matter of fact, he played for the A's. He knows Dave Cavell. You see what I'm saying? He knows. And he does the same thing Mr. Fisher do. It's all about the dollar, the mighty green dollar. Period.
And paying for it by taxes. How could that be?
We got, you know what? I think it's 3 taxes. One, like I say, I see why they went from Oak Street to Mandela. Those people. And you know what? Because they got the Brooklyn Basin. I was on 880 today. Brooklyn Basin is over there. See how smart he's thinking? He's counting up those dollars. That's why he wasn't putting nothing affordable. But City of Oakland have a mandate, so much percentage, and he don't want to do that. He's crying. Big old man, he crying. That's why I said he just came up over the weekend. Mr. Fisher, everybody been wondering where Mr. Fisher at. Where Mr. Fisher at? Think if y'all could only take so much, he may have a heart attack. Think of y'all, seriously.
So the billionaire is crying.
Yeah, he's crying because he's not getting what he wanted. He thought we were asleep because we from West Oakland. We're not asleep.